want to welcome to another edition of Can We Talk R&B Podcast with me, Nnamdi.
And I'm Omar. Welcome, guys, to a hot, fresh episode, hot off the grill.
Yes, is that a TLC shirt you're working?
Yes, TLC, one of my favorite groups.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
they were big in the '90s and stuff. I always remember the Grammys of I can't remember when Left Eye and TLC said, "Hey, we're broke," and it shunned the world when the news went out. And one of the questions that I think you asked me a week ago is whether award shows are relevant anymore. I know the Grammys are coming up and
Yes.
stuff, but what are your thoughts about award shows?
Well, yeah, I mean, the question is, are award shows relevant? And I say no. And the reason I say that is because the viewership is down across the board. However, we talked about this before we came on, because everybody's talking about it. They've been talking about it all week. The slap heard around the world
Yeah,
with Will
Will
Smith
Smith and
slapping
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock
Yeah,
live on the Oscars. And that's the most coverage we've seen of the Oscars in decades. Like, I've never heard this. This is an unprecedented thing. But that highlighted how irrelevant the shows were. And even that incident, people were only talking about they slapped. I don't even recall who won what.
yeah.
So,
You know what? I would say that never forget in '93. No, '94. I moved to the UK for about a couple of months, and
mhm.
it was like January, and February was the Oscars, and over here the Oscars were on cable TV, and I was staying with my cousins, and they didn't have cable, but one
Mm.
of my uncles, and they lived maybe some 200 miles away. They had cable, so I planned to visit them the Oscar weekend so I could watch the Oscars live. Bear in mind we are about 5 hours behind New York time. So when the Oscars would come on, it would be about 1 o'clock in the morning here in the UK. That's how much I was so into the Oscars that I traveled
Mm.
300 miles
Wow.
to watch a show that would be on at 1 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the morning. Loved the Oscars. And I think over the last even the Grammys were like the creme de la creme. You had all the big heavyweights from Luther and Anita and all these people competing. So it was very much every award was big. And then over the last 10 years, especially when it comes to forget the Oscars because the movies aren't as no one cares. I only watch the
Right.
highlights the next morning, but the Grammys um, they focused a lot more on the performances, and it was a lot of um, just felt like they a lot of younger hip hop and pop acts were dominating the performances, and even the award ceremonies were almost you could predict if Beyonce is nominated, she's going to win. If
Right.
Kanye or Jay-Z are nominated or Taylor Swift, it was almost as if these are the most popular artists. We're giving them. It became like the People's Choice Awards or American Music Awards. It lost its prestige.
Right.
Uh,
I
yeah,
think it's because the oversaturation of like right now we have more entertainment. We have so many options for entertainment, so many
mm,
things to watch. Back in the day you had, you know, a few
ABC,
dozen,
NBC, yeah,
channels,
yeah,
in the early 2000s and the 90s, and in the 80s and 70s, etc. You probably had maybe a dozen or maybe a couple dozen. You didn't have so many things pulling at your attention. We
yeah.
have the internet, we have social
YouTube,
media,
Netflix, yeah,
video games, Netflix, streaming, all
TikTok,
of
yeah.
that. It's just so much pulling at your attention, and then on top of that, an oversaturation of entertainment. The quality control is kind of lax, and I would say some of the quality has kind of dropped from
Mm.
prior decades. So, also I think that people don't take the awards shows as seriously now that we know that a lot of the awards um it's like a popularity contest. A lot of times they can be, the awards can be bought basically. So it's like, it doesn't feel like it's genuinely recognizing, um, you know, talents that are deserving.
Mm.
And a lot of talented people are overlooked with these shows, and so it
Yeah.
just becomes a thing of name recognition and association, and your people, etc. So yeah, I don't really watch a lot of award shows. Like you said, we brought up the Oscars. A lot of the movies that are nominated, I don't really have much interest in watching. Or I haven't seen or had no interest in. The music shows like Grammys and VMAs and
They even
all of
have the
that stuff.
BT Music, the BT Awards, Soul
No.
Train. I mean, I remember Soul Train, even at the Soul Train. So if you think about when they sang Secret Garden, so that was I'll Be Sure, James Ingram, um, Elder Barge, and Barry White. When
Hmm.
they sang, they all wore tuxedos. They all came in dressed. So all the audience were dressed. Bobby Brown in the audience with Whitney, they're all dressed in their tuxedos at the Soul
Right.
Train Awards. It was seems prestigious, but if you watch the Soul Train now, it's it's almost as if it's like guys just coming into a club and stuff. The
Well,
there's no
also,
the dignity. Yeah. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to also, because you're bringing up an era where we had superstars,
Yeah.
where we had megastars, where you had standout talent, individuals that are known for specific things. Today's artist is just a faceless sea of people,
Hmm.
famous for whatever reasons, and the music is all kind of sounding the same and blending together. The
Yeah.
art of making superstars is not, you don't have a Whitney Houston, you don't have a Bobby Brown, you don't have a Michael Jackson, you don't have Tina Turner, you don't have these standout acts anymore
Yeah.
that the name rings bells across the land. So it's just a lot of faceless sea of people that'll be hot this year, and the next year to be a new crop of people that'll replace them.
Yeah.
Whereas you knew that, like you mentioned, Barry White, all of these names we've known for decades.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of those artists now today, they struggle to kind of make a dent, and the new artists, they struggle to hold our attention for more than 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's just a different time. Celebrity, and I was talking about this before we came on. Celebritydom, the whole era of the celebrity is kind of coming to a close. We don't have People are not as interested in celebrities anymore. Um, as far as the live performances, I mean, we have YouTube. If we want to
Yeah.
see these artists
Yeah.
perform, we just go to YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We go to their social media. We have direct. If we're interested in Mary J. Blige, a lot of times you're following her on Instagram. You're watching her every move. You want to check in with Mary J. Blige. All you gotta do is turn your phone on,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
look her
In the
up.
access.
You can
Yeah.
see some of her. Yeah, she'll have clips of her shows. So
Yeah.
there's no reason to really watch her on the Grammys. You've seen all her best outfits on Instagram. So
Yeah.
you've seen a lot. So we have so much access to the celebrities. The award shows used to be our gateway to seeing these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we
When
can see
yeah.
them anytime we want to.
Red
So
carpet. But are you saying the ceremonies himself or actually the awards? So I don't recognize the fact that Beyonce's Jay-Z is the most nominated person in Grammy history, and that
mhm.
Beyonce has won the most Grammys of any artist. To me, it just shows you how, though, if anyone wins a Grammy today, it just has no value. I don't value it the same way it was, say, 20 years ago, where it was really hard to be nominated for a Grammy and it was almost
Right,
impossible to win. People used to boast about being nominated, forget about winning because it was so prestigious, so hard.
right.
Now the Beyonce is probably going to be nominated 2 or 3 times. They're probably going to give her the award for the soundtrack for King Richard because it's Beyonce. We just want to pull her in and stuff.
Right. You made a good point in another episode because you listed how many uh awards or Grammy awards that Beyonce has won.
Yeah,
I don't know how
25 now.
many.
Yeah, she's won
25
25.
Jay-Z's. And so when we think of the grand scheme of things, it's even like Jay-Z was inducted,
Into the
um
Rock and
I
Roll Hall
think,
of Fame, almost
yeah,
the
around
year
the
that he was
time,
elevated, eligible.
right, in the same year that LL Cool J.
Yeah,
And when we have acts like LL Cool J and Anita Baker and all these veteran staples of artists that have worked hard for decades to finally start being recognized in this way. I don't know how many Grammys that Anita Baker has, but I'm pretty sure Beyonce has more.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
she
so
probably have.
some
Yeah,
people are
she got
like,
more. Yeah.
well, yeah, it's like from a quality standard, etc. Like, shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't Anita Baker have more? You
Yeah.
know, so like I said, it's I think that awarding so many people that in turning it into a popularity contest is what's hurt the Grammys uh credibility. And I think that right now, I just think that people are not as engaged as they used to be. The shows are become very stagnant. I mean, much of regular TV, a lot of the stuff that we've been watching for decades, like late night television, like the late night shows and the
Mhm.
daytime talk shows, a lot of them, those formats are dying out. They're losing viewers because people are kind of tired of that. They want
Yeah.
something fresh. Social media offers something new. YouTube offers things that are new. TikTok, there's so much competing, uh, media now.
Yeah.
So, but guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section because this is an interesting topic. I'm glad he brought this up. What are your views? Are you still interested in seeing award shows? What if you are still watching? Let us know below. What still draws you to the show? What captivates you? If you're not watching, why? Why aren't you watching? And what would bring you back to watching the award shows? Let us know in the bottom of the chat there, not chat, but the
The
comment section,
comment section.
comment section, and let us know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. See
Thanks.
ya.
Bye.